Welcome back, everyone, as we're getting right into this next matchup here as we have Georgian Grizzlies facing off against the Humber Hawks. Welcome back to some of our viewers that have had the pleasure of joining us all day here on M-Link on YouTube. Again, we're bringing you the 2017 OCAA Championships, and we're getting right into the action here with the Grizzlies versus the Hawks. This is the third quarterfinal match of the day. And a couple of quick points there as we see it now tied 1-1 early on. We're going to see number 16, Big Clayton Blanchette, set up for serve here. And Blanchette is one of the few players in his second year who managed to accomplish 300 kills and 300 total points for his team. The 300-300 club, they call it. But now
real leader on this team, Nick.
Clearly, him and Gibbs are going to be the two biggest players if the Humber Hawks have any chance of taking down the undefeated Georgian Grizzlies today, who sit at 18-0 from their regular season play. Kind of hard if you're going to be the first one to make them lose this year, it seems.
It'll be tough.
But now we're going to see Edwards set it up for serve for the Grizzlies. He's going to float it a little long there. And with that, we're going to see a quick loss of serve for the Grizzlies, and now we're going to pick it back up on the other side for the Hawks. We're going to see number 3, Kobe John, set up for serve. John gets it over. A good dig on the other side. Liam Gray getting it over to 11. Going to be a violation, though, it seems, and it's going to be point over to the Grizzlies. Adam Bielby, a big player here for the Grizzlies. He's actually a fifth-year player out of Barrie as well, too. Really enjoying his time at Georgian College, it seems. But a good dig out there on the back line. And now on the other side, big number 9, Alex Gibbs, but a nice dig from Liam Gray. And back on the other side, some good rallies we get back and forth to start this matchup. A nice dig on the back line and a nifty play there for Liam Gray, number 1, one of only 2 All-Canadian All-Stars. He's actually joining a familiar face here for some of our viewers who've caught Mohawk Mountaineers. He's along with Trevor McLaughlin, one of those All-Canadian stars this past year. But now Kinoshito setting it up on the back line, Blanchette, but a great dig out there from number 8, Trevor Rakella. And they're just going to be forced to put it over as Gibbs digs it out now for the Hawks. Back to Blanchette, who tries to find the open space. But there's Liam Gray on the other side, running into the wall there of the Hawks. But a nice kill there on the other side. Adam Bielby coming through again here for the Grizzlies. Bielby and Haynes are some big players up front there.
Bielby with 180 kills on the season, Nick.
Oh,
it's impressive.
Now Kinoshito setting it up on the other side. A good dig, but I think we're going to see a violation there. And yep, a violation on the Grizzlies will result in the point for the Humber Hawks. And we're going to see now Alex Gibbs, number 9, setting up for serve. Gibbs gets the serve up and over as it's dug out there by Bielby. And a quick one there, number 10, Jake Edwards. The 4th-year player out of Barrie. Quite a few of these Georgian college players will be from the Barrie region, of course, as they do a lot of their own recruiting locally. But there is one player, Connor, actually, from Brazil.
Yes, Nick.
Daniel Ramos, number 9. We'll have to see if he gets much court time. And now Kinoshito setting it up there. Flat-footed there, Gibbs, and not going to work. Actually, they will call that in, even though he was flat-footed on that one. Gibbs able to put that down. A nice kill there for himself, as the Humber Hawks trying to stick in tough here with the undefeated Grizzlies, now down 6-4. The serve just long there, though, from Michael Maschen. Meitzen, a very strong server usually, but right there, not showcasing his skills too well. But now Bielby on the other side gets it over. Dug out by Gibbs to Kinoshito, and a massive kill there. Andrew Blakely, number 4. The 2nd-year player from Collingwood, one of the tallest players actually on both teams, standing at 6'7". But now the serve over from Blakely. Now Gray setting it up on the other side, but there you have it. Number 8, Trevor Rakella, running into a big wall there of Blanchette. But now Blakely getting the next serve up and over, and he's going to soar that one a few feet past the out-of-bounds line there. And with that loss of serve, we're going to see now point go over to the Grizzlies. And number 18, Matt Kerr, set up for serve on the end line. Dug out there by number 11, Quibin. And now Kobe John faking it out and going to Blanchette instead. And it's going to be just in, actually. They're going to say Blanchette did catch the end line there. Again, Clayton Blanchette showcasing why he scores nearly 6 points a set for his team and has almost 400 points on the year. Not the best dig there, forcing Gray to run into the ref and into the sidelines. Tables jostling a little bit over here. I may have caught my hand adjusting a bit there. Exciting stuff, guys. Love when we become part of the play, eh?
Good game so far. Humber's doing quite well.
And just like that, you jinxed them. Maybe you can jinx the teams this time, Connor. Usually I'm the jinx. But now we're going to see number 8 here, Ricala, setting up for the Grizzlies. Ricala gets it over as it's dug out there from Quibin, gets it to Kinoshita, finds Gibbs on the end, and a nice dig there on the back line. And they're going to try it again. Kinoshita this time, Blanchette just going to volley it over. Now Gray looking to set it up on the other side for the Grizzlies. A nice block there from Blanchette and John, but going to deflect out of bounds. Some good defensive play there on the Grizzlies side. Liam Gray, all Canadian for a good reason, as he's all over the court, both defensively and offensively for his Grizzlies. But Quibin digs it to Kinoshita, over to Blanchette. They're going to need a lot more of that to fall, but here comes Gray. A nice quick one, but a big block there from Kobe Johns up front. Gray did get that one to Haynes, but it didn't go down because Kobe Johns was in the way. And now we're going to see Blanchette set up for serve again here. Blanchette, one of the stronger servers in the province. A good dig on the back line here, though, as Meitzen just tried to put that one down. A good Kinoshita digging it out, though. And now Blanchette just going to be forced to put it over. A nice dig on the back line there from Burke. But an even better dig from Kinoshita on the other side for the Hawks. And here comes Gibbs, putting it down right on the end line there. A big point here for the Humber Hawks, tying this game up early on in this first set. Now
Humber's doing quite well here.
Definitely not coming out like the 10-8 team their record displays, showcasing quite the skill here. And again, the undefeated Grizzlies could be in tough today against those Hawks. But just like that, though, we're going to see an error on serve for Blanchette, and with that loss of serve, point over to the Grizzlies, and we're now going to see number 10 here, Edwards, set it up. As mentioned earlier, Edwards, the 4th-year player out of Barrie. A weak dig there on the back line is going to make it an easy party ball there, and a nice and easy point there for Darian Haynes. And Haynes and Bilby, as mentioned, number 12 and 11 respectively for the Grizzlies. Big boys up front. But Roberts with the serve, going to be out of bounds there. Edwards with the unforced error on that one. We'll see loss of serve, and now we're going to see Kobe Johns setting it up here on the end line for the Hawks. Kobe John, the 1st-year player, rookie out of Toronto. He's definitely earned his coach's trust more and more as the season has gone on. And now on the other side, BLB going to put a little too much power on that one, and it's going to be point to the Hawks. As we're sticking in tough here, both teams back and forth as we have a 12-12 tie. This first set coming out very exciting here in this 3rd quarterfinal match here. Bringing it to you from the D-Bark on M-Link on YouTube. There's BLB with a dig to Gray, going to go back to BLB. And BLB too much again. A couple of unforced errors early on here from one of the stronger players on the Grizzlies side. And they need BLB, as you mentioned, Connor, with 180 kills. They need him to go if they got to get some of those points down. But now John with another serve, and with the air right back, we're going to see them lose that slim 1-point lead instantly. Now we're going to see Haynes set it up here. Haynes and Bealby again, 12 and 11, but both 6'5", and look very similar here. But a nice play from Gibbs there. Notice that both Bealby and number 18, Matt Kerr, were in the air, so we found the open spot in the court, and a big point there as they take serve right back. And a bit of a floater there, almost works actually, but dug out from Kerr, and he gets it over to BLB from Gray. But a nice dig on the back from Blanchette as we see Meitzen get it over. And now a nice dig on the other side as well from Edwards. Some good rallying going back and forth here. Kinoshita, here's Meitzen, a big power kill, but a nice block from Gray. And on the other side, Blanchette gonna dig it back out the other way now. And Gibbs, not the height nor the angle he needed on that one. And a big rally there. I think I cut in about 13 or 14 hits back and forth, Connor. Not bad.
Not bad at all.
And still we have a 14-all tie here now. And we're gonna see Liam Gray set it up, number 1. Liam Gray has been an incredible facilitator here, and he has quite the serve too, but gonna be just out of bounds there. As we touched upon earlier, Liam Gray is one of the CCAA men's volleyball All-Canadians here, along with Trevor McLaughlin from the Mohawk Mountaineers. But here's Meitzen with the serve up and over. It's dug out there from Burke, and then a big block up front as Kinoshita and Blakely come together as a big wall there. These Georgian Grizzlies in tough here actually against these Humber Hawks.
You know, coming into this game, Nick, I was surprised if Humber would take one set.
Well, the record at 10-8 and even actually 4 and against on sets on the year, 34 sets for, 31 against. They're a very inconsistent team if you look at it that way. But right back the other way, maybe now Kerr going to try and take advantage of that height advantage that they have up front without Blanchette and Gibbs up there, as the Hawks like to rotate a little bit more to allow Gibbs and Blanchette that time to really get up there for those kill attempts. But now BLB on the other side with an unforced error, an unfortunate one if you're a Grizzlies fan. But if you're a Hawks fan, you're very excited as that gives you the 2-point lead back here now restored. And you're gonna see Andrew Blakely set it up here. Again, the second-year player out of Collingwood, one of the taller ones at 6'7", but the height not gonna come to his advantage there. Too strong on that serve. I know we mentioned earlier, Connor, a player from Brazil, but we actually have a player, Joshua Pascual, from Philippines. So we have a little bit of traveling, it seems, here from both sides. And oh my goodness, that deflection came off the Hawks' head, and somehow it's going to work out because they hit the mooring there, and they're going to put that, yes, exactly as mentioned there. Number 18, Matt Kerr, was the violation on the mooring there of the net, and with that, a big point for the Hawks, who somehow were blocked on that kill attempt, deflected it off their own body back over, and they'll find themselves with the point here, up 18-16. Kinoshita gets that over now. A big kill, but a nice dig there from Quibin. And Kinoshita getting it now to Blanchette, but not going to be able to put that one down. Ricala there was able to force the strong defensive play on the Hawk side, but they weren't able to capitalize with that return. And now we're going to see Georgian down just one here as Ricala puts it up. And Ricala is going to be just out of bounds again, struggling on his service game here early on. Humber going to have an opportunity here to stretch this lead to 3 now as we get big 16, Clayton Blanchette, first team All-Star, setting up for serve.
Too much on that one.
I think I hyped him up a little too much there. That one was about 8 feet past the line.
A gym away.
We'll have to corral that power a little more here as we're now going to see Edwards get that over. And now Kinoshita setting it up for Gibbs, and Gibbs says, that's how I'm going to put it down. A big spike there for Alex Gibbs.
He has some power, doesn't he?
We better check that one again, folks. Number 9, Gibbs, a massive kill there.
200 kills in the season for Gibbs.
You know, Gibbs, as you can see there, a big reason why.
He gets fired up too, I like that.
He gets that height going, but Gray gonna try and save that, and he does dig that out there for his team. But they're gonna say the violation there on that next hit by BLB. The double actually, and so on that it's gonna be a quick timeout now here for the Georgian Grizzlies.
Humber getting fired up.
And they should be.
They should, they deserve that.
At 10-8 on the year, you're about to take the first set potentially from a team that is undefeated and that has only dropped 9 sets all year. And that's why I think this Georgian coach has taken this timeout. Reed Saxby.
A little shocked.
I think he understands here that if his team loses this first set, he could be in here for an upset, so he understands that he needs to corral his team, get their emotions in check, and really take it here to the Humber Hawks to end this first set.
You know, I've seen a couple Humber games this year, Nick, and they've definitely had potential. I mean, when they're on, they are on. They are a great team.
When you have a couple of players like Blanchett and Gibbs who are really the facilitators and drivers, and then you get a nice player like Adam Kinoshita with 540 assists, you can tell that with that facilitation up the middle and with the amount of kills, again, Blanchett with
over 300 kills.
Whew.
Unbelievable.
The 300-300 club is something that does not happen very often in a year, and that's why Clayton Blanchett was mentioned actually in quite a few articles. I would be a little surprised if some of our viewers
Fair
aren't.
to say he could hit 350 this year.
Well, the regular season's done, but if they do count the playoff stats, you are very correct. He has been known to basically take a set a game himself. Boom. But right back coming the other way, though, Haynes with a big kill there as they're going to take service game back now on the Grizzlies side as they try to bring this back late in this first set, now down 2. And Haynes with the serve up and over. Kinoshita going to find Gibbs. A nice block up front there from Kerr and Bielby. And Bielby now going to get his own chance. But a nice block on the other side for Blakely and Gibbs as Kinoshita going to find Gibbs. And this time, they're going to get rewarded there as the deflection off Kerr and Bielby out of bounds on the Hawks side. And with that point, Humber now back up a 3-point slim lead here, 22-19. This first set coming to a close. Gibbs up and over. It's dug out on the back line there by Rakella. Rakella just going to have to put it over. Now Quibin getting it to Kinoshita. Kinoshita finding Blakely, and Blakely putting it down. Big Blakely with a big spike there. Now 23-19. These Humber Hawks about to stun these Georgian Grizzlies in the first set of this third quarterfinal in the OCAA championships. But Gibbs, as if he was listening, decides to put that about 8 feet past the end line. And with that unforced air, there's still life here for the Georgian Grizzlies as Liam Gray sets up for serve on the end line. Gray with a powerful serve up and over, but Quibin digging that out and getting it to Meitzen, but Meitzen going to run into the wall there of Kerr and big Rakala. And with that now, there's still some life, but they're going to call a violation actually, and that's a big one there as that's going to result in set point here for Meitzen, serving it up for the Hawks. Dug out there by Edwards, and now it's going to go back to Edwards, and Edwards going to find a big block there, but a nice dig from Burke. Here comes Edwards again, this time running into Blakely, but now Bielby going to save him, and Gray just going to force the volley that over. And here comes Blanchett. And a nice save and a dig on the back line there by Haynes. And now Blanchett again. And this time, not going to be successful again. Some good defensive stops there from the Grizzlies. And they still have life here, down 24-21 in this first set. And we're going to see Bielby set it up here, number 11. Bielby gets it over. Good dig there from Quibin to Kinoshita. This time a nice dig onto the other end by Burke, but they're going to say the violation. And that's going to be a massive point here as we see the first set win for the Humber Hawks, stunning the Georgian Grizzlies here. The undefeated Georgian Grizzlies losing this first set 25-21 to the Humber Hawks.
That was a big set, Nick. Important set. The Hawks came out ready for it. Like I said, when the Hawks are on, they are on.
We're definitely seeing the difference in competition between the East and West Division showcasing itself, the epitome of it right there when you see an undefeated 18-0 team come on the court here and almost get blown away and surprised by these Humber Hawks, I think, who are 10-8, but again, maybe the tougher schedule helping them grow a little more. But we could also be seeing maybe Blanchett and Gibbs understand that it's do or die today.
Big game. And Gibbs has been great so far.
Yeah, I really like how you highlighted his excitedness. He really likes to get his team going. I think that's one of the factors for the Hawks where their team gets up and up with everyone else. They bring them all with them. But we'll see on the other side there. You can check Reed Saxby trying to get into his team, the second-year coach. I think he's probably going to have to be mentioning, hey, guys, it's okay. We lost. It happens.
It does happen.
You know, we may have lost.
They're not used to it, but it happens.
Exactly, and I think that's going to be some of the key factors that he's going to have to build into his team, is that it may not have happened too much in the season, but we've bounced back. There have been a couple of games where the Georgian Grizzlies did manage to lose a set or two and still take the win. Now again, they were a team though that pretty much straight setted most. They actually only had 2 times where they went 5 sets with Durham, and then they went 5 sets with Fleming a couple of weeks back. But predominantly, they like to straight set it up. So I think that's going to be what their coach, Saxby, definitely is mentioning. But we're going to throw it over to Ryla here, who's going to be bringing us some more insights. What do you got for us, Ryla?
They're going to? Before the game started, I was able to talk to both of the coaches, Reed Saxby from Georgian and Wayne Wilkins from Humber. Both of them are saying that they're feeling very confident going into today's game, but Georgian's been a little bit more confident because they're undefeated so far. But as we see from that last set, Humber is not here to lose. They want to win just as bad, so we'll just have to see how the rest of the game goes. See if Georgian can pull off a win or if Humber will.
We appreciate the insights there, Ryla. Thank you very much. And we're going to get this second set starting up here shortly. But just to recap again, a stunning first set point there for the Humber Hawks, 25-21 over the Grizzlies. And Blanchette and Gibbs seem to have come to play here today, and they're coming at the right time for their Hawks to maybe surprise and stun these undefeated Georgian Grizzlies. But what can you think the Grizzlies can do, though, Connor, on the other side maybe to sneak back into this game in the second set?
Play their game, Nick. They are by far the best team right now going, maybe except for Mohawk. They're playing a 10-8 team here. They definitely have the skill to blow these guys out of the water. Let's see how they do it here.
Well, they're going to need a start like that to help, and the first point going to go now to the Grizzlies, and Liam Gray going to see a second attempt here on his service game. But Liam Gray, in my opinion, is going to be the X factor in this second set. As mentioned, All-Canadian, and one of only 2 All-Canadians in the OCAA. And with a serve like that, if it's on, he definitely can do some damage, but as you see there, it's very off, missing by a few feet. And now we're going to see Kinoshita set it up here, number 14, on the Humber Hawks side. Kinoshita up and over. A nice dig as it goes to Gray, and back on the other side, BLB. But a good dig from Kinoshita, but looks like there was a bit of confusion there as a fan was actually walking by at the exact same time as Quibin was gonna try and dig that out, and you can see a couple of the fans laughing that they were almost part of the action there. Maybe they don't have as much fun as we do getting in the action, but a nice block there on Gibbs. As we get Kerr and Edwards working together, they're gonna try again, but this time Gibbs gonna get it just over them. Coming back the other way, a big kill attempt there, but Edwards gonna put that one out of bounds. And now we're gonna see Blanchette set up for serve here, his first service attempt of this second set. Blanchette with one of those power jump serves. Here comes Blanchette. Nice angling, but Burke able to dig that out. You're gonna get it now. A nice kill there on the other side for Ricala. Using a nice spike, getting a beautiful setup as well too, right up the middle. They're gonna need more from that from Liam Gray to help facilitate the offense for his team. But now on the other side, we see Matt Kerr get the nice and easy serve up and over. Kinoshita gonna see if Meitzen can do it, but John gonna save the dig there. Kinoshita finds Blanchette, and Blanchette with a one-on-one. Gonna get a little lucky as he seemed to get into the other side of the court there for the violation, but not called. But not gonna matter anyways for the Grizzlies, as they will take that point. And we'll see Kerr setting up for serve again here now, as Georgian having a much better start here to the second set, up 4-2 here early on. But here comes Kinoshita to Meitzen, running into a big wall there. But this time, Gibbs finding the free ball off that block attempt and gonna put that down. A big spike there as well, and now we're gonna see the ball go back here to John for the Humber Hawks, setting up for serve. John here with 7 service aces on the year, and I guess that's going to be an indicator as to why he doesn't have the most. A little bit errant on that one, to say the least, actually. And the Hawks still not able to find too much momentum now in the second set on their service game. But Kwaiben digging that out to Kinoshita. Gibbs just gonna push that to the back line. Now on the other side, a big put down there for Haynes. That's exactly what the Grizzlies want to see here as they jump out and double up the Humber Hawks early on here in this second set, now up 6-3. But there's Ricala with another serve going to go out of bounds. Ricala struggling his last couple of service games here, just giving some free points right back to the Hawks. Here's Gibbs with another strong serve, usually along with Blanchette. But there on the other side, good defense. Oh, a nice dig attempt there from Kinoshita, and he doesn't understand why he got called for a violation there. I'm a little perplexed myself too. That looked like a good second attempt on that one. But with that, we're gonna see Edwards now set up for serve here with a slim 7-4 lead in the second set. And an unforced there. If this was basketball, I would say the ball didn't lie. But since this is volleyball, we're gonna see a loss of serve there for the Georgian Grizzlies, and now Meitzen going to be setting up here for the Humber Hawks. Meitzen gets it up and over. BLB finds Gray. Gray going to find Haynes, but a nice dig by Kwaiben. Here comes Blanchette. But nice dig by Burke on the other side as Gray sets up BLB. We get some good digs back and forth here. Meitzen there, and Gibbs with a massive kill, and he's going to get rewarded there. A big spike. And a big point there for Alex Gibbs as a few
He gets fired up, doesn't he?
A few of the Humber Hawks players come together there.
Look at this power Gibbs has.
But we definitely have to check that one again as he got up there. You can see the height is a big factor on the spike game, and oh, big one there. Because we're going to get back into action on the other side here. Gray getting that to BLB, but a nice dig from Blanchette. BLB trying again, but a nice dig from Gibbs this time. And they're just going to get it over, but a violation for sure on Haynes there. He definitely touched the net. But they're actually going to reward the Georgian Grizzlies there. I guess the violation was actually on the Hawks side. And with that now, loss of serve, we're going to see the Grizzlies set it up. And we're going to see Haynes get the serve in. And another unforced there on a potentially questionable play. And with that, we're going to see a quick loss of serve, and it's going to go right back to the Hawks here as Blakely setting up on the end line. Stuck out there is Gray going to look for a quick one there, and he finds Kerr. A big kill there. Liam Gray showcasing why he is a big facilitator for his team and why he's got 552 regular season assists, which is an incredible number if you break it down, almost 9 assists per set. Here's Blanchette going to put up a tough one there, but John going to save it and find Kinoshita. Back to Blanchette. This one a little bit more powerful. And with the deflection on the block attempt, it's going to be point to the Hawks. But now we're going to see number 14, Kinoshita, set up for serve. Kinoshita is a third-year player from Brampton. One of the taller setters, actually, at 6 feet. But when you're good at setting, you're good at setting, and there he finds Blanchette again for another big kill. And Kinoshita going to set it up for his third straight serve here as now the Humber Hawks have brought it back for a tied 9-9 game in the second set. But BLB finding Gray, Gray finding BLB back again, and I think they're going to call the deflection there. Yep, and it's going to be just with that deflection, a big point for BLB as he's now going to set up for serve back on the other side here for the Grizzlies. A lot of back and forth play here, Connor.
It's been great so far.
And John, floating in the air, decides to go for some finesse. Gray going to find a easy attempt there. That one looked like it was actually going out of bounds, but Meitzen going to save it. Burke getting that one now as he finds Gray. And there's Ricala. But Gray going to find Ricala again. And this time Ricala going to meet the wall of Gibbs.
Gibbs getting fired up again.
Fist pump, that was a Tiger Woods fist pump right there. A big point as these Hawks are sticking in with these Grizzlies in this second set. Definitely looking like the undefeated team themselves in this game early on. But that one's going to be just out of bounds there. It looked like Blanchette had maybe found some success there, but just going to squeak out of bounds. And with that loss of serve now, the Grizzlies going to set up themselves again here on their end line. But we're going to see a quick substitution as Kerr is going to come out quickly. And we're going to see number 9, Daniel Ramos from Belo Horizonte, Brazil, coming in here. Brazilian connection, Connor, as you mentioned early on, finding some court time. And here's Kinoshita. A big, big block up front there from Haynes and Ricala, but not going to matter as the Hawks fight back here, and now Haynes gets that over. And Kinoshita going to look for Blanchette on the back line, but going to be just out of bounds there. Blanchette not able to find the court. And with that out of bounds play here, Georgian jumping up to a small 12-10 lead here in this second set. And Ramos now with his second serve here. Maitzen digging that out, and back to Maitzen. Oh, nice dig there on the back line by Quaibin. Maitzen going to go for finesse instead of running into the wall again. And with that violation, we're now going to see the double hit on that attempted volley. Ramos going to come off looking a little dejected and frustrated with himself. And it's going to go right back now here for serve with John setting up for the Hawks. John gets it up and over, much better than his last attempt. But here's Gray with a quick attempt up the middle for Haynes. Oh.
Hard to stop those ones.
Yeah, those quick ones, it seems the team's almost anticipating the outside hitter coming, but then if you can find that quick one up the middle, you're definitely
deadly.
Element of surprise, as they say. But there comes Ricala, dug by Quaiben to Kinoshita. Here's Gibbs, but a nice block and a good deflection and save from Gray. Now Maitzen just going to put it up flat-footed a bit there. But now here comes Gray, and it's going to work again with a quick little setup and a big finish there for Darian Haynes, the third-year player out of Barrie. And the Grizzlies jumping up ahead again here, finding some momentum, now up 14-11. Ricala with a much better serve than his last three attempts have gone out of bounds. And we're going to see a violation, an easy one to call there, as Kinoshita was looking to set up a quick one for the Hawks side for Blakely, but Blakely running into the net there. And with that violation, we're going to see a timeout for the Hawks, and we're going to see the Grizzlies come into this one a little bit more excited, and maybe their heads up a little higher than the first couple of timeouts last set.
Grizzlies are a great team, Nick. They really spread out their points well.
But I know if I'm Wayne Wilkins, the 23-year coach, you've seen it all, you've heard it all, you've probably coached it all. What can you tell your team here, though, now down 4 in this second set, Connor?
Get the ball to Gibbs and Blanchette.
That is probably something they've heard on repeat over and over this year.
Blanchette leads the league in kills. I believe it's kills per set, too, I believe.
Yep, I think he's actually top for kills per set as well. The surprising thing for me personally with Blanchette that he wasn't actually named an All-Canadian star as well. But you definitely mentioned he is first in kills per set. As we touched upon a little earlier, sometimes with the power comes the errors. He's actually first in errors too. But first in total attacks at 690, so you know in 18 matches.
They get him the ball, don't they?
Exactly, in 18 matches with that many attempts, you know that he's dominating and he's constantly looking for those points and kills. Again, that's almost 40 attempts a game on attacks that he's getting.
Wow, that's something, isn't it?
And that's why he's actually gotten over 25 points in a game easily a couple of times, meaning he's scored his own set. But we're going to get it picked up here on the other side as we're going to get a nice point there. Maitzen finally getting it down, looking to his coach here, laughing a bit, and he is maybe telling his coach, don't worry, it'll come more and more here as the game goes on. But we're going to get a nice lob ace there. Alex Gibbs with a beautiful service ace there as the Grizzlies decided to let it go.
I love watching Gibbs play. Oh,
coming out of this
timeout was important, wasn't it?
Yeah, these Humber Hawks.
You see the Grizzlies taking a timeout now?
Yeah, Wayne Wilkins, I guess even after 23 years, still knows how to get his team going.
You know what to say, don't you?
You definitely do. And he got his team pumped up there, and they came out, reeled off 3 straight points there, forcing the Grizzlies coach Saxby to take his own timeout now to try and stop that momentum. And now 15-14, an exciting second set here as well, Connor.
Oh, it's going to be a good one today. I was really coming in thinking Humber was going to have a hard time ahead of them, but they're proving me wrong.
No, it's true, and I just got to say thanks again to a lot of our viewers here who've catched us on M-Link today, bringing you these 2017 OCAA championships. We're here at the David Braley Athletic and Recreation Center, and I just also want to say earlier, Fanshawe did dominate, but we did have a nail-biter last game between Redeemer and George Brown. What do you think we're going to get here now so far, Connor? A nail-biter or an easy win here for these Hawks?
I'm hoping for a nail-biter.
It's always a little more exciting that way, right? But anyways,
if Gibbs and Blanchard can play well, and they have been, it will be a nail-biter.
well, we do have the making of a great match here already as Gibbs does get that serve over. BLB doesn't corral it the best, but the Grizzlies will find that back over, though. Kinoshita going to find Gibbs, though. A nice dig, and they, somehow Sonny Gray gets his left hand on that one. And,
Gibbs.
as you just
Someone
said,
get him a backpack. He's got the team on his back today. This is impressive.
4 straight service points here for Gibbs as he sets it up again now. Dug there from BLB, but Gray going to try and get that, and this time going to go just past Blanchette. Gray with a nice setup there for Jake Edwards, the fourth-year player from Barrie. And with that, we're going to see a quick timeout here as well, too, as Edwards is going to hop off. And we're going to see number 4 here, Curtis Cousins, come on for the first time, actually. And they're just going to have to clean up a little bit of moisture on the court here. Seems to be a bit of an issue these first couple of matches today. I'll have to say that's a testament, Connor, to the exciting action-packed matches we've had here so far.
Blood, sweat, and tears, Nick. Blood, sweat, and
got
tears.
it. But here's Kinoshita finding Blanchette. And Blanchette going to be just out of bounds there here as the Georgian Grizzlies going to come out of that last time out the way they want to, and that's with the point. But now the second serve there for Cousins. But Kinoshita going to find Gibbs here. And Gibbs couldn't get the point there, actually, on the violation, it seemed. Was about prepared to declare the point over to the Grizzlies. What a big one there for Gibbs, and now we're going to see Meitzen set up for serve here for the Hawks. Good dig from BLB to Gray, and back to BLB, but a nice dig on the back from...
Oh, what a save.
Meitzen and Kinoshita working together there beautifully. This time, though, not going to be able to find that one, and Haynes putting it in the right spot there. A big point here now for the Grizzlies. Still clinging on to a small lead here, 18-16, as we're going to see Kerr jump back on here for Ramos. And that is on the Hawk side, that is. But now Haynes up and over here. Just going to have to put that one back, Blanchette does. Gray here finds the open spot in the backcourt. Fools Quibin on that one. And Liam Gray with a big point there. Here is now the Grizzlies stretch this lead to 3, 19-16. Oh, a nifty little one, a lucky one over the net there. But a good block there, but a nice dig on the back line from Meitzen. And Kinoshita just going to be forced to put that one over. And here's Gray finding BLB. And BLB going to push that a little too far, but are they going to call the deflection? And they do call the tip deflection off the Hawks player. And that'll be a big point here for the Grizzlies as we're going to see a timeout now again here for the Hawks. Their second timeout here. And now the Grizzlies stretch this lead 20-16, Connor.
Yeah.
Starting to slip away a little bit here for these Hawks.
The Grizzlies are an excellent team, Nick. They spread out their points really well. I said it earlier. They have Belby 180 kills, Hines 134, Rukella 111, and Edwards 92. So their front line's really spreading out their kills.
Yeah.
Excellent team.
I was just going to say consistency, as you mentioned, across the board with 5 players with over 125 team points on the year, total points on the year, which is a big thing, as we mentioned in the last game, actually, where usually you have 2 or 3 players that are the big offensive outside hitters. And then obviously you'll have a couple of facilitators, a couple setters that are really, you know, driving the offense, driving those easy plays for their outside hitters. But this team, though.
They're definitely a team.
This team, yeah, right from BLB to Haynes to Rukella to Kerr to Edwards, all over 125.
And then you take a look at Humber, and they're definitely really got Blanchard and Gibbs.
That's a great point. Blanchette and Gibbs actually make up a ridiculous amount, as we touched upon earlier, of the offense. They have 614 total points, and that's against 957 total points for the Hawks, meaning 65% of the offense comes from Blanchette and Gibbs. And that's, of course, thanks to Kinoshita setting it up, as we're going to see him do right there for Gibbs. But a nice dig on the back end for Haynes. And on the other side now, there's Ricala. Going to find that deflection, and with the deflection off the Hawks player, a big point there. And Ricala getting the spike and kill down. Now the 5-point lead here, as we see Haynes set up for serve on the end line. Haynes gets it up and over. Gibbs with a bit of a funky dig out, but may work as Blanchette found the empty spot, and a nice point there to stop the bleeding finally.
Beautiful. I love those. Love those plays.
And with that, we're going to see a couple of quick substitutions as we see the Manila-Philippines connection. Joshua Pascual come in.
You know, Nick, I don't think I've seen Gibbs or Blanchette leave the court yet today.
I would be highly surprised if they do come off, if not only for maybe a couple quick serves on the other side. But there's Kinoshita, and there's Pascual going to find Blanchette. But a nice block and dig out on the other side there. But here comes Bilby, and Bilby forcing that one down. And they're going to call the net violation on Bielby, though. And we're going to have to check that one again, as Bielby was pleading his case with the referee there, but to no avail, as a big point here for the Hawks. And double check a nice setup there on the scramble.
Oh yeah, he touched the net.
Definitely there. Over the net on that one. But now Grace, another quick setup up the middle to Kerr. Gray has been taking advantage of the Humber Hawks with those quick, easy setups. And now we're going to see Gray set up for serve himself on the end line for the Grizzlies, up 22-18. A beautiful serve from Gray there, forcing a rough return from Quaibin. McQuaibin digging that one back, though, and going to get bailed out from his teammate Blanchette, who does find the point there. As it looks like he hacked up a bit of a lung there, too, maybe clearing some of that out. But now Kinoshita really needs to dig into this 3-point lead here in this second set, late 22-19 for the Grizzlies. But here comes Ricala, but a good block from Blanchette, and here comes Blanchette. And there Blanchette puts it down as he forces that through the wall of Kerr and Edwards. Actually, that would have been Kerr and Ricala, excuse me, number 8. But regardless, Clayton Blanchette with a big point there. Now Humber down just 2. But here comes Gray on the other side. A nice attempt from Bielby, but somehow Kinoshita ran into the stands and got that one.
Unbelievable.
And here we go. A nice dig from Meitzen. Are they going to find this one, though? But no, they can't. And that's why you got to be careful.
Over the bench, Nick.
If you're in the first couple of rows here in men's volleyball, varsity level, you have to be ready to be part of the game, because these guys fly all over the place. And that was an amazing attempt from Meitzen there. An even better dig earlier from Kinoshita, but the point will go to the Grizzlies as we get Bielby setting this one up again. Exciting game here. Now back on the other side, Gray going to be looking to set up Ricala, but a nice dig from Meitzen as he finds Kinoshita. And there's Blanchette. Blanchette, did step over, but doesn't get called. And not going to matter, but Kerr coming back with a big point there. Putting that down now is Georgian just 1 point away from tying this up at 1 set apiece. But we're going to see some height come in here as John going to step out. And we're going to see number 17, Colin Skanes, the first-year player, 6'7" from Etobicoke. But now here, Bielby with set point. And the unforced error at one of the worst times, as that's going to see loss of serve and point to the Hawks, as we get Blanchette now here setting up for the Humber Hawks, down 24-21. Still set point here on the other side for the Grizzlies. Blanchette gets it up, gets a little lucky as he does get it over, but here comes Gray. And just out there, number 10, Edwards. A nice pass from Gray, but not able to complete that one. Some of the other players on the Grizzlies side looking for a violation there, though, but not going to get it. Now 24-22 here for the Hawks. Blanchette gets the serve up and over. Nice dig there from Bielby to Gray. Here's Ricala. Nice Blanchette dig himself there to Kinoshita to Gibbs. And it's going to find the ground. Gibbs with the finesse play.
Gibbs is so entertaining to watch.
Yeah, Gibbs is your boy, eh, Connor?
Love him. Love the socks.
I was just going to say, I'm pretty sure he has the Powerpuff Girl socks out again, which I do remember from a couple of games ago, actually. And maybe he's finding that power from those Powerpuff Girl socks here. But a nice dig on the other end for Berg, and a massive kill there.
That was a big one.
Yeah, you couldn't stop number 18, Matt Kerr, on that one. And there you have it, Georgian Grizzlies taking that second set, 25-23, a nail-biter there. But a big one for the Grizzlies, as it's now tied 1 set apiece here. And some exciting play here in this third quarterfinal match we have.
This is a close game, Nick. Closer than I thought, for sure.
But we're going to, as we touch upon a couple of things here, we're going to check some highlights coming up. But I just wanted to mention, Connor, here, you touched upon Gibbs and Blanchette. They seem to be the big players there, and without them,
look at that.
We got to check
there's
that.
the dive there, over the bench.
Kinoshita,
unbelievable.
That's my play of the game so far, even though he didn't get the point. And right there, again, Kinoshita really showing his defensive prowess there, even though he did get called for the violation on that one. And on the other side, John with a nice kill there. And you'll see Gibbs with another one there as well, but you're going to see an easy one. That was out of the timeout as well, where the Humber Hawks reeled off a few
Gibbs
straight points there.
I love it.
Gibbs there as he was trying to bring it back in that second set, but to alas, wasn't able to, as the Humber Hawks did drop that one 25-23. But we're going to check in with Ryla here as well, too, for a couple of key points here moving forward into the next set. Ryla, what do you got for us?
I had talked to the coaches, and I was asking, is there any players that, you're watching out for to watch out for the other team to watch out for themselves? And I would like to point out a couple key players. So for Humber, number 16, Clayton Blanchette, you've mentioned it so many times. He's an incredible player. He's leading right now their team with 322 kills. I mean, that's incredible. And then, going over to Georgian here, Liam Gray, number 1. 552 assists, and he's the all-star and all-Canadian setter, And, we can see that for both of these players. We can see that through the game, and, they're doing an incredible job, and they're obviously benefiting their team to get them to here at the OCAAs. A couple other players from Georgian are Darian Haynes, number 12, 130 kills, and Adam Belby, 180 kills, leading points for Georgian. I mean, these guys are doing a fantastic job, and they are the reason why they are here.
Well, thank you very much, Ryla, for those insights. And you are right. We have been saying Blanchette, Gibbs, Gray many times today, but you're right. They're one of the big players, really the cogs of these machines that we see here for the Hawks and for the Grizzlies. And as we've seen for both in the first and second set, that second set, Gray did pick it up a bit, and he was able to pull his Georgian Grizzlies to that second set point. And in the first set, though, as you touched upon, Connor, that Blanchette-Gibbs connection, if they can find that again here in this third one, it will be a big point here for these Humber Hawks. But we're coming down now. It's basically a best of 3 here. And these last 3 sets could be exciting, as these undefeated Grizzlies don't want to go home with the first loss of the year, I'm sure. And on the flip side, though, if you're a Hawks player, I think you can almost taste the potential for this upset.
I think so, Nick. It's been close, and the Hawks, they're fighting for it. They're scratching their way, and definitely show the potential today to take the win.
And when you have a couple of all-stars like the Humber Hawks do, as mentioned with Clayton Blanchette, and then on the other side as well, too, for Georgian, they actually have Darian Haynes, who managed to make it as a first-team all-star as well.
134 kills.
And that's why, right? A big player there. But not to be outdone, of course, they have actually Adam Bielby and Justin Burke making the second-team all-stars. So literally, they actually have almost 4 players out of 6 potentially on the court at a time. We're all-stars.
On paper, no question about it. They're the team to beat.
But now we see Meitzen setting it up for the first point here in this third set. Bielby going to try and get a good start here, but a nice dig from Quibin. And they're just going to force it up here. Meitzen getting it over, but here comes Gray to Bielby. And there's a big attempt, but it's going to be just out of bounds there. A big point to start this one here for the Humber Hawks, as Meitzen now going to set up for serve. His second service attempt here to start this third set. Meitzen going for the lob. Going to make it nice and easy here for Gray to set it up for Bielby. But a nice dig from Quibin. And now Meitzen finding Blanchette. And some good digs back on both ways here. Oh, a massive dig there from Ricala, sorry. And now on the other side here, a good one from Quibin. A good rally back and forth here. But that one was going to go just out of bounds there. Blanchette, a little too much power trying to find the angle. A good rally there back and forth for both teams to start off this third set. we'll have to see which team may succumb to fatigue a little bit sooner here. Whew, massive serve from Gray. And when you have such a massive serve, it really forces the returning player to come up with an incredible dig, which Kinoshita, it hasn't been able to do on the last couple of Gray serves. And what that has led to is some easy points here for the Grizzlies when Liam Gray is serving. And let's see if they can get another one. Oh, a big one again. And as mentioned, going to force Meitzen to fly out into the stands to grab that one, but they do get it back over due to Blanchette. Gray setting it up again here. Oh, and a nice dig there from Quaiben. A good rally again here early on in this third set. As Gibbs digs that back to Kinoshita. And he finds Gibbs, but back on the other side, Gray with his own dig. But Kinoshita going the other way now. And Burke with another dig here for the Grizzlies. As Gray going to find Bielby. And the wall up front, not going to be able to stop that as Kinoshita and Blakely get beat there. And with the deflection out of bounds, a big point for the Grizzlies. A couple of 10-plus hit rallies here, back and forth to start this third set here. But Gray finding some success on serve, a little bit of a miss hit, but still able to get it over. Now Blanchette going to try and float it, but Gray able to save his team there as Burke looks to set up Ricala. But a nice dig from Quaiben. Here's Kinoshita, now is just going to force Gibbs to put it over. But here comes Gray, and a massive spike and kill there again for Matt Kerr. I know I've said it plenty of times here today, but that's what happens when you get a big player like Liam Gray up front, making it super easy for his team to put those down.
This is the Grizzly team I've been waiting for, Nick.
Yeah, there you have it, coming out strong here, running it up a bit, 4-1 now in this third set. And Liam Gray finding an error there, but still got to commend him for a good string of success to start this third set. And he even looks to the coach and taps himself a little bit. He knows he should have put that one over, but we'll give him a break there. What we won't do is we won't give a break there to Ricala on that one. A miss hit there, going to be a point now for Blakely on serve. One of his easier service aces he may have had this year. And just like that, he's going to punch that one right into the bottom of the net, taking away any momentum he had built there on that last one. And now 5-3 here early on for your Grizzlies. We got Bielby setting it up on the other side. Bielby gets it up. Quaiben has been digging it out great in this second and third set. And not to be outdone, you have Gray and Burke as well too, setting it up on the other side. But a good dig there from Meitzen, and here we get Blanchette, and Blanchette gonna roll it along the net, just barely getting it over. And you can see Ricala and Kerr throwing their hands up in the air. Not sure how that one was able to roll off of them and on the net and land on their side. But the Hawks won't even care to think about it, because a big point there as Kinoshita gets this serve back over for the Hawks. And Gray with the quick pass again to Kerr, not gonna work this time, but Gray able to save his team there. Bielby just has to put that over. We should get an easy setup here now for Kinoshita to Blanchette. Ho-ho! That one was coming right at us. Good stuff there. And they're gonna call the violation though, actually on the Hawks, and even though it was a big spike there, looked like it may have gotten down. With that, it's gonna be point over to Kerr, getting the serve over now for the Grizzlies. But here comes Kinoshita again. And this time, all three players a little upset, actually, as you can see, number 18, Kerr and Gray, getting a little frustrated at each other. And number 18 walking off, very frustrated, Matt Kerr for the Grizzlies. And with that loss of point in serve, we're now going to see Blanchette set up on the other side for the Hawks. Blanchette, looked like it may have just nicked the line, but going to be out of bounds there. And now we're going to see Ricala set up for serve on the other side here for the Grizzlies. Ricala gets it up, Blanchette digging it out. Kinoshita trying to find it, does, and he's going to see if Meitzen can get a nifty play over. Can't, and now a little free ball at the net, but John not able to put it down, but here comes Bielby, and Bielby with a big point there, putting that one through the Hawks players. And now the Grizzlies looking to stretch this lead even further, near up 8-5 now in this third set. But there goes Blanchette to Kinoshita, and Burke with a miss hit there. Not able to dig that out with the left hand sticking out. And a big point there now as the Hawks still sticking up here, sticking with the Georgian Grizzlies. Now down just a couple here, 8-6. Let's see if they can string off some success. John getting it over, but a good dig from BLB to Gray, and back over here now. But a good dig on the other side, but not going to matter here actually, as a little bit of miscommunication there from the Hawks. And now we're going to see number 10, Jake Edwards, set up for serve here. But he's going to dig that one out, Quibin, and going to find Gibbs. Gibbs with a big hit there, and with the deflection off Gray up the middle, also off Haynes, we're going to get that out of bounds and point over to the Hawks. Alex Gibbs has been incredibly successful off service game here so far. Going to get another easy one here, and there you have it. The Hawks using that Alex Gibbs service game to bring it back again here, as they did late in that second set. Finding some success here now, down 9-8. Gibbs with another serve here. Gray looking to find BLB. There's Gibbs on the back line though. As Kinoshita just with a little nifty play. Not going to work, but now here Kinoshita is going to set that up. And they're going to call that just in for Gibbs on the back line. Gibbs on fire right now. And here Gibbs sets up for a serve again. As Ricala digs it to Gray, a massive kill from Haynes, but an amazing block from the Hawks. They're going to get their own chance here, and with that dig, going to go out of bounds. A big point here for the Hawks as they take the lead early on in this third set, now 10-9.
It's the Gibbs show.
Clearly. But here comes Gray, another quick one, and this time it will work actually, as Haynes gets it.
That was a big one, big kill
Gets
there.
pumped up there, finally getting one down. And that'll stop the momentum there for the Hawks. We're now going to see Haynes get this over here for serve for the Grizzlies. There's Kinoshita and Meitzen working together to get that out. Here comes Gibbs with a nifty play, but they saw that on the other side. Good play from Kerr and Bielby. Here comes Blanchette back, but going to be out of bounds. No deflection off the Grizzlies there. So with that, we're going to now see serve go back here to Haynes. And the Grizzlies able to stop the bleeding and maintain this lead, now up 11-10. But a misplay there, but Gibbs going to find and Meitzen, and Meitzen tried to use his might on that one, but a little bit too far out of bounds there. And with that now, we're going to see Haynes set it up for serve again here. Stealing a bit of Gibbs' service powers, it seems, and having his own string of success. But that one going to be just in bounds there. Kinoshita setting up Blakely. And the Humber Hawks able to still trade some points back and forth here to keep this pretty close. Down just a single point here, 12-1. But Meitzen gets the serve up. Burke digging it out for Gray. Gray going to find BLB. And this time Blanchette digs it for Gibbs. And a nifty player, they're going to find it. Gray does find it. Burke saves it again. But now you know they're going to get a nice setup here to Blanchette. And Blanchette puts it down with a boom. Putting that one past Gray and Kerr. Gray and Kerr still seeming to have some miscommunication there as Gray tried to find his teammate there, but Kerr was already walking away from him, back turned. Not usually what you want to see from your top player. Usually he needs to communicate well with his team, but sometimes it doesn't matter here when you got BLB number 11 on the corner. Big outside hitter coming through.
He's been big this set, he's been big.
Really helping stop the momentum that you can feel the Hawks players are trying to build here.
180 kills on the season.
A big boy.
It's not bad.
Not bad at all, to say the least. But that one going to be a little out of bounds here. Liam Gray with the unforced error there on his service game. We'll see now Andrew Blakely setting up for serve on the other side. Blakely with a very easy serve. As mentioned earlier, he hit it in the bottom of the net, actually. But this one much more successful. But the deflection on the block attempt there from Blanchette and John. We'll see the point back over here now with serve going to the Grizzlies and Bealby setting it up. Bealby second on the team with 31 service aces. Not showcasing that right there, though.
It's not one of them there, was it?
Unforced error there. And as you can tell, I'm going to actually let you guess here, Connor. Who's leading the team in service aces, you think, on the Grizzlies side?
I'm going to have to take a guess and say it's Team Canada over there, number 1.
You got it,
yep.
Liam Gray, yep. And a big kill down there as well now for the Grizzlies as they find a couple of points here in a row. And now we're going to see Kerr set it up, actually, as the previous point did go to the Hawks. So we're still at 15-14, but Kerr with the lackadaisy service ace there. You know Quibin wants that one back.
He's still a rookie, Nick. He's still a rookie. Give him a couple years.
Yeah, and he definitely is showcasing some potential for all-star ability, in my opinion, in the future.
109 digs on the season so far, so nothing short there.
Little one-on-one there, and oh, they are able to save that. Almost looked like a lift, but they'll get away with it. But now Gray gonna set it up here on the corner for Ricala. Good dig from Kinoshita to Johns, but we're gonna see the violation there. A double hit on Johns' volley attempt. And with that, now a 3-point 17-14 lead here for the Grizzlies. And we're gonna see a timeout, potentially a very smart timeout here from the Humber Hawks side. Wilkins, I think, understanding that the game is starting to get a little bit away again, just like it did in that second set. And instead of waiting maybe till the end of the second set to come back like they did, he's gonna try and get his team to showcase a little bit more success here coming out of this timeout. As you can see him getting in there, you see Blakely trying to pump his team up a little bit. You can see Gibbs getting right in there, nodding a lot. That's probably because he's getting some good compliments from his coach.
Get the ball to Gibbs.
Definitely showcasing some strong flight and strong hitting skills today, as per usual. You know, when you're making up 50% of your team's points.
Surprising too, Gibbs has over 100 digs on the season as well, so he's not always just up front.
He's a consistent player, as you mentioned, Connor.
He
And
can
of
do
course,
it all.
up front as well, too, with some blocks as well. Blanchette and Gibbs, one of the bigger blockers for their team. But they do use John and Kinoshita up front.
Only second-year students too, right, Nick?
Yeah, predominantly. Yep. John is the only rookie, actually, out of their team on the starting side.
We'll see Gibbs for a few more years, I hope.
I'm sure you will, especially if Coach Wilkins has anything to say about it. He knows he's got quite the duo in Blanchette and Gibbs. But now out of this timeout, Kerr with the service game back over here. The Hawks going to get it to Blanchette. But a nice dig from Kerr there to Gray. And a good dig from Meitzen as we get a good rally to coming out of this timeout. Good block there as Kinoshita going to set up Blanchette again. And this time a good dig from the back line for Bielby, but not going to matter. There's John, wasn't able to finish, and Haynes saving that. Now on the other side, Kinoshita going to set it up again for Blanchette. This time the dig from Gray, going to get it just enough for Bielby. And now just going to force it over from Ricala, and here comes Blanchette again.
That power, wow.
And third time the charm there for Clayton Blanchette. And you can see Matt Kerr on the other side. When I see Matt Kerr every time come off frustrated, he reminds me of Jose Bautista. I think he thinks he can get every play down. Big 18 Kerr, but now Blanchette on the other side with a very anticlimactic serve after his big kill there.
Grizzlies getting fired up on that one, aren't they?
Yeah, I think when you get your free points like that and when you have the potential to stretch this lead out, I think they understand that was an easy giveaway and a bad one on the other side. But now Blanchette digging it out here, trying to save it for his team, and Gibbs off his back foot and off the wrong angle, still able to find that one, put one down. And when you're on, I guess, Connor.
He's been great today, Nick. He has been great. I guess you have to be if you want to beat this Grizzlies team.
To be the first to beat them in 2016, 2017, you're going to have some magic. And it's not going to be that kind of unforced air magic either, as Kobe John throws that one right into the middle of the net there. Loss of serve, point over to the Grizzlies. So we're now going to see Edwards set it up on the end line. 19-16, we're in the exact same spot last set. But this time, maybe the storyline can be different as Alex Gibbs steps up for that one, shakes his head in the air, and says, I dare you to stop me.
We got to take a look at that one, Nick.
Oh, I hope so here. And as you were going to see, I have to give a thanks to our replay people because that's a big one there.
Fires it down.
But unfortunately for the Hawks coming out of that serve, we're going to see the point go to the Grizzlies, and we're now going to see Haynes set it up on the end line with the Grizzlies up 20-17. And the Hawks still have to find that momentum late here in this second set if they're going to have anything to say about this third set here. And that will do it a little more. Blanchette flying through the air again there, and with the deflection on the block attempt going out of bounds, a big point here for the Hawks. 20-18 now. Meitzen getting the serve up and over. Burke digging it out to Gray. nice dig on the other side. Here's Kinoshita going to volley it up to Blanchette. And Berg with another dig here, but an amazing one-on-one block as Blakely thought he had the surprise, and Kerr said, surprise me like this. Oh my goodness, Kerr.
Getting fired up.
And when like I said, when he makes the plays though, he's all smiles. But now Liam Gray, a big serve here, gonna get lucky. Kinoshita able to just save that for his team though. And now a big block there. Blanchette not called for the violation somehow. And it's going to be a good dig there. They're just going to get it over now as we get a good rally here. And a good block up front. Blakely returning the favor there. A one-on-one block right on Kerr there. And as mentioned, when it doesn't go Kerr's way, the frustration comes out instantly.
I love it though.
A couple of words there that we can repeat on air coming from Kerr. Let's see if he can maybe channel this frustration though in this next point. And on the other side, if you're Pasquale, you realize the pressure's on here, down 21-19. And just like that, the pressure gets to Joshua Pasquale. And just like that, the first-year player from Philippines, a big air, and now 22-19 here for the Grizzlies with Bielby getting this serve up and over. And just right back, another air. They're going to trade air for air there. And it's going to be 22-20 here as Kinoshita now going to set it up on the other side for the Hawks. Kinoshita gets it up as Bielby digs it out. Gray going to find, he's going to find a high fly. Gibbs, I swear he actually did return that, but they're not going to allow that. They're going to call the double hit on that one. But some high flying antics there from number 10, Edwards. And Kerr now going to set up for serve here. Just a couple of points away from a big third set win. And now Blanchette going to try the nifty play. Not going to work. So now Kinoshita going to look to set it up here for Blanchette. And Blanchette right into the net there. With that air, we're going to see it now come down to set point here for these undefeated Grizzlies. But potentially a bit of a freeze timeout here from the Humber Hawks, maybe trying to play in the heads of the serve coming up here for the Grizzlies. But 24-20, what a difference this last couple of sets have made, Connor. That first one, it seemed like we may have had an upset on our hands, but it's looking like now with this third set potentially going to the Grizzlies, they could be jumping up 2-1. Looking at a big win.
I'm not ruling the Hawks out of it yet, Nick. You know, both these sets have been very close. They could have gone either way. So, you know, the Hawks could definitely potentially pull two sets still.
And this is a big one too, because, you know, if you're the Georgian Grizzlies, coming up, it's either going to be Mohawk or Sheridan. And if you're watching M-Lincoln, you've caught us a lot throughout the years. The Sheridan Bruins have snuck their way in, whereas Mohawk were one of the top two teams on the West Division. So, of course, they were allowed in automatically, and as a host team as well, too. So, I don't know, if you're the Grizzlies and you're coming up potentially against the Mohawk Mountaineers in the next matchup tomorrow, I think you're going to want to end this one in the fourth set here if they can snag this third one, because you don't want to make this any longer than it needs to be coming up tough against those Mountaineers. Again,
the Mountaineers
fifth ranked.
Are great this year.
They're not 16-2 for no reason. But back here, let's not take out these Humber Hawks yet, as we still got lots of volleyball to play here with set point coming up potentially. And there you have it. Alex Gibbs finally running into a wall he can't beat there. And Haynes with a big block with Kerr up front, going to result in the 25-20 third set win here. They're now up 2-1 going into this fourth set. The Georgian Grizzlies showcasing why they are undefeated on the year.
You know, it shows a lot about the team, too. They go down a set, doesn't phase them. They come back, win two, big plays. And you got to ask yourself, really, how much energy does Blanchard and Gibbs got left in the tank? You know, I haven't seen them off the court yet.
No, and on those last couple of plays as well, too, those Blanchette kill attempts, you could see he wasn't able to find the second jump. And obviously, without that second jump, you're going to find net more often than not, as he did in those unforced errors on a couple of those spike attempts. So, but as we mentioned, Alex Gibbs, he's going to be the reason these Humber Hawks come back if they do. As we can check in that last set, he was on absolute fire. He was all over the court. Blocks, serves, kills. He was basically Humber last set. And unfortunately, though, in volleyball...
The Humber Gibbs.
Yeah, the Humber Gibbs, exactly. As you can see, another
up there. Look
massive
at that.
kill there. But the frustrating part maybe for Gibbs here is that volleyball is a 6-player sport on the court. So as much as one player can be dominating, you need all of your team to really show up and showcase. And unfortunately, if you're a Humber Hawks fan, that last set, they did taper off a little bit there at the end. And as we touched upon maybe earlier, Connor, we may start to see some fatigue kick in. The Humber Hawks have had a little bit more games recently than the Grizzlies, that is. But the thing for the Hawks as well, too, which you can't really say on the other side, is they're actually coming off losses in 5 of their last 7 matches. They did beat Lecite to make it into the OCAAs, of course, in their crossover match. But their last match, regular season match, they lost to Mohawk in straight sets. They did manage to beat Conestoga, but before that they lost to Fanshawe, Redeemers, St. Clair. So these Humber Hawks not necessarily having the same breadth of winning to draw from, especially when they're in tough, that of course the Grizzlies have. But as we saw in that first set, though, if you can crack the shield of the Grizzlies, it seems they aren't equipped to deal with the fact that they haven't lost very much this year.
That is true.
So
they got to fall sooner or later, right?
As they say, the bigger they are, the harder they fall. But who do you think is going to be the big reason that the Humber Hawks could potentially take this 4th set? And I want to hear a different name than Blanchett and Gibbs,
Do I need
Connor.
to say it? It's going to be Gibbs. It's going to be Gibbs. Or, you know, the rookie.
That's
Big
true.
rookie. He's got some digs on the year, 109 digs. You know, he gets that ball up to Gibbs and Blanchard. We said the name 100 times.
Quibin and John, first-year players, they get a lot of trust from their coach as the year has gone on. And you can see why, though, as well. But I think the big thing we're going to have to see here is Kinoshita is going to have to start setting up Gibbs and Blanchett a lot better like he was in that first set. The last couple of sets here, I don't know if it's been fatigue, maybe potentially
They're going to have to keep their composure for sure.
Or composure, that could definitely be it. But we're going to have to see Kinoshita, for the Hawks side, get a little bit more consistent on those volleys. And on the flip side, though, Liam Gray, he's just got to keep...
This team is so well spread out, Nick. It is unbelievable.
He's got to keep playing like the all-Canadian all-star he is, especially because he really did show up there in that last set, and he was able to bring that win.
He's shorter, isn't he?
And he is honestly the biggest service. He has the most service aces on the team as well, too.
It's impressive.
At 34, but you can tell
Look
aggressive
at this front line
serve.
here for the Grizzlies.
Look at that. Beautiful serve to start it here. But now on the other side, Kinoshita going to run into a wall, a one-on-one wall, but he's going to get lucky that they're going to say the deflection on the block out of bounds there on the Grizzlies. And Kinoshita going to set it up for serve here on the Hawks side.
He's been great today, too. He has.
Well, he's definitely going to have to facilitate some offense in this set here if he wants Blanchett and Gibbs to keep playing like they are. And right there, we're going to see a couple of quick points, the kind of start you want if you're Coach Wilkins here for the Hawks. Now Kinoshita going to set up for his 2nd straight serve here with the Hawks up 2-0. Little lob serve does get it over as BLB finds Gray. And then Rapala, not going to find too much success as Kinoshita got to that easily. Couple of finesse plays back and forth here as Burke now going to get it up to Rapala again. A nice dig there from the first-year player Quibin, forcing Blanchett though just to get it over. Good rally back and forth here. Now you're going to get Bilby. It's going to be dug beautifully on the back line by Meitzen though. And now back over again. Back and forth here now for the 5th time. And another dig here. But a one-on-one up front is going to go to BLB. And it's going to be point the Grizzlies. Number 17, not able to stop that one there. Colin Scaines, the 6'7" player from Etobicoke, met his match, it seemed. And now BLB with a nice serve over here. Let's see if Gibbs can continue. But a good dig from Burke. And there comes Edwards on the other side now. There comes Blanchett. And just going to roll right along. And then, and Scaines going to get beat again up front. And Scaines not having the wherewithal to check to make sure it went over. And with that, it actually landed at his foot. A big point here is now there goes that lead, evaporated instantly. As BLB serves it over, Kinoshita finds Blanchett. And they're going to call the violation, I believe, on Blanchett, hitting the mooring on top of the net. And with that, we're now going to see 3 straight points here for the Grizzlies. But Gibbs digging that over to Kinoshita, back to Gibbs. And that one's going to be out of bounds as well. Hawks coming out strong with the first couple of points here, but now they're actually
bounces
really
just start going their way, eh?
Against the ropes here early on already. But there's Blanchett going to force Gibbs just to put that over. Burke with another good dig here early on here. Burke has been doing very well with those digs for the Grizzlies. But here comes Blanchett, just going to have to put that over again. And this time gonna get lucky. They're gonna call that one in. As you see Kerr, arms up in the air, asking the referee for a violation, I believe, on that one. Not going to get it though, as the Humber Hawks able to finally stop the bleeding there. And Blanchette now 39 service aces in the regular season, one of the top players. Let's see if he can actually find his service game here. And that one's gonna be a little easy for Meitzen. And Meitzen with another free ball, but they're gonna say the violation on Liam Gray, I believe there. And with that violation, now it's gonna be a tie game, 4-4 here for the Hawks, as Blanchette setting up for serve. Blanchette taking his time, using the power serve, maybe trying to make sure he collected himself there. A good little one-on-one block, but gonna be just out of bounds there. And with that, Ricala will get the point for his team. And now we're gonna see Matt Kerr set up for serve here on the end line for the Grizzlies as he gets the serve up and over. Blanchette digging it out here. Here comes Gibbs, but a nice dig there from Gray. And back on the other side, just inside there for Ricala, as he used the beautiful dig there from Gray. The nice volley, and he puts that one down. Now 6-4 here for the Grizzlies as Kerr sets it up again. Gets it over here, Kinoshita looking for Gibbs. Gibbs just getting that over. Both players coming to the middle there. Skanes says, watch out, Gibbs. Gibbs, I think, notices the last couple of plays from Skanes, wants that down, and there you have it.
He gets it.
If I'm Skanes, I'm getting out of the way of number 9, Alex Gibbs. He has been the reason the Humber Hawks have kept this game close in this last couple of sets.
It's the Gibbs show.
And of course, a big reason why they even took that first set here. But now we're gonna see Colin Skanes set up for serve. Gets it up and over, and he's gonna be out of bounds by about 5 feet there. Not the serve he wanted on that one.
I think he was aiming for the Grizzlies bench, Nick.
Yeah, maybe that's gonna be their new tactic. Can take out a couple of players potentially.
Getting their heads a little bit.
But now we're gonna see on the other side, Ricala gets it up. A nice dig there from Gibbs as he gets it to Kinoshita, who finds Blanchette. But gonna be out of bounds there though. Another point here to the Grizzlies as they stretch the lead now, 8-5. And if you're a Hawks fan, you need your team to step up here and stop this momentum, because this fourth set could get out of hand quickly here. But here we go, Meitzen gonna get it up, but a nice dig, ho! Somehow Bielby gonna find that, and Gray gonna get it back over here. But we're gonna see an easy setup now from Kinoshita to Gibbs, and he's gonna land that one down as Burke dived hard for that, but not able to find that dig on the Grizzlies side, and a big point for Gibbs again. And now Gibbs gonna be setting up for serve here. Finding amazing success off service game to start the first few sets. Let's see if he can continue it. And they're gonna do just that, as a big block up front there from Blakely and Meitzen. Gray and Haynes tried their quick little nifty volley and kill, and not working there, as a big block from the Hawks. But it's gonna be a violation actually. Sorry guys, a violation there. Back over on that serve, but with that unforced there, we're now gonna see the Humber Hawks. I was just ahead of point there, I think, Connor. As the Humber Hawks are gonna now get served here. Meitzen setting it up. Down a couple of points here in this fourth set. Here comes Gray, here comes Bilby. Too much power there on that one. I think they're gonna look for the deflection. Not gonna get it, and with that, Meitzen's gonna set up for serve here.
Bilby gets up there too, eh? He soars.
Definitely has some hops as well. But a little surprised he hasn't had the game I was expecting today. It's that guy right up front, Haynes, who's been having the game we've expected. Many a kill here today, and using some of those easy
Cut
volleys.
the sleeves off his jersey for some more power. I respect it.
Hey, there you go. Who needs a t-shirt when you can get your arms all out there, right? But let's see now if the Hawks can come back into this lead, and they do. Back and forth play here in this fourth set. The Hawks here are going to have a chance.
1 point game, Nick.
It's been back and forth. Neither team able to stretch this lead further than 3. Exciting play in this fourth set. You can tell both teams playing with a little more trepidation than usual, as we're going to get a little quick stoppage in play here to wipe up some moisture on the Grizzlies side of the court. Blakely and Gibbs just going to play a little volley back and forth there. Stay loose. But let's see here now if Blakely can get this up and over, which he does. But here comes Gray, and here comes Bielby. And
He gets up there.
Gray to Bealby. That's the connection that has been a big proponent of the success for the Grizzlies this year. Starting to come through even more here now in this fourth set. If you're a Hawks fan, you've got to be a little worried. You don't want Bealby and Gray to get going any more than they already are. Nice dig there. Kinoshita going to find Blanchette somehow, but an amazing dig from Gray. Well, we're going to see some good digs back and forth here. Now on the other side, Edwards does find that. Burke going to now just put it up here, and Kerr going to be forced to put that out of bounds though. A nice and easy one over. A little too much power there from Matt Kerr. And now Humber going to have a chance to tie this game up. As we see Kinoshita set up for serve here. Here comes Gray, but not the best timing there for Kerr. Now on the other side, here comes Gibbs, but a nice block from Gray. Looking just to set it up as Burke's gonna be forced to put it over. Now you're gonna get a nice easy volley from Kinoshita to Gibbs. Nifty play, but Gray coming out with another great dig there. Now back on the other side, you have Mites in here, and we're gonna have Gibbs again. And Gibbs gonna be just out of bounds there as the linesman had to jump out of the way and make the call there.
Gray's tough to beat, eh?
You're an All-Canadian for a reason. There's only one other All-Canadian All-Star in the OCAAs, and that's Trevor McLaughlin, fifth-tier player. Record holder, I should say, from the Mountaineers. But there on the other side now, another big one there. And the Grizzlies gonna get called for the violation though. Ricala not gonna get the call he wants, and with that loss of serve, we're gonna see Blanchette set it up on the other side here. And Humber again down just a single point here, 12-1, 12-11. Almost said 12-1, which would be terrible math, Connor. But here comes Liam Gray.
12-1.
But there you go, Liam Gray now. We're gonna see Mites send to Kinoshita, and here comes Gibbs. And a big one there.
He's
and
getting
the fist
fired
Gibbs.
up. I love it. Look at that determination on his face.
Ho, ho, ho. That's all I got for you, Connor. A big one there for Gibbs. I'm telling you, it's got to be the Powerpuff Girls socks.
It's the socks. It has to be.
There you go, the massive serve there, and you're going to see a big ace put down there for Blanchette. But with this timeout here, we're going to get a chance to check that Gibbs spike coming up. Grizzlies going to call that timeout, but we got to see this one again, Connor, as you're going to see.
Sets himself real quick.
And as I mentioned, Kinoshita coming through.
Look at this. Look at right there. He's fired up.
Oh yeah, that was three
it.
fist pumps on that one. And you can see him right there, amped up on the bench with his team. I know he definitely...
He's getting a little protein in, a little pre-workout.
I was just going to say, you got to keep yourself hydrated and energized, especially when you're high-flying all over the court like he is, both right and left sides.
Blanchette having a little fun for the cameras there. It's always good to see.
Yeah, definitely. Blanchette is one of those players that I think has a bit of a personality to him, which is nice to see, especially when he's been so dominant.
I love watching Humber games. Like when they're on, they are on.
They're definitely one of those teams that can just string off consecutive points quickly, and we saw that both in the second set and actually in the third set, but they still weren't able to finish. And I think that's just due to the fact that these Grizzlies are very well coached.
Very well-rounded, too, as you mentioned earlier.
You know, and the one thing, too, I have to give credit to Saxby. He is only a second-year coach, you know, in comparison to the 23 years that Wayne Wilkins has on the other side.
Longer than I've been alive, Nick.
And that's with 18 years for Hank Ma as assistant, so you know they've been quite the team for a while. You have to commend the Saxby Hawk team on the other side for really coming through and showcasing that they know how to not only coach, but come back, which, again, we have to give them credit for. But there we go, Gray, and right up the middle to Kerr. Gray loves those quick volleys, and that's why he's got 500 plus, and we're gonna check that one out again. Liam Gray, the All-Canadian All-Star, just showcasing why he's got almost 600 assists here. Nice, quick, easy, and a big one there. But we're gonna get back into play here now on the other side. And there comes Gray again with another one, almost deja vu. I could have almost sworn the replay was still playing there, Connor.
I thought it was, Nick.
A big one there for Haynes, taking that one from Gray. You can see Haynes and Gray having a nice little chuckle there as Kerr gets that serve over. Here comes Kinoshita, though, going to find Gibbs. And a nice dig from Gray. He's everywhere today. Back on the other side there. Neither player able to come up with that as Quibin and Blanchette miss it. And a big point here for the Grizzlies as again they're looking to stretch this lead. 15-13 though, as Kerr finding some success potentially off his service game here. But here comes Kinoshita to Gibbs again. There you have it, Gibbs with another big point. Haynes and Edwards not able to keep that one in. You can hear it, I get almost anticipating when Kinoshita gets that volley up, that Gibbs is going to be coming down with it. But Skanes here finding a little bit of court time actually in this fourth set. And he's almost found the service ace there through the air from Bielby, but getting saved there from Edwards on the Hawks side. And now it's going to result in a Hawks point actually, with a big kill attempt there.
They look upset about that one. I thought
big block there. I thought the Hawks were going to get the point there with the violation on the Grizzlies side, but nope. We're now going to see Ricala set it up here for serve. Quibin getting that out. Here comes Blanchette. Blanchette hitting that off the top of the knuckle there. Not what you need. And with that one coming off the top of the hand there, not going to find the power nor the control. And with that one out of bounds here, the first 3-point lead here for the Grizzlies. But there comes Quibin trying to dig it out. And almost Kinoshita, as per usual, was able to find that, but no one there able for the third hit. And with that, we're going to see a smart timeout here as this lead now stretched 18-14 for the Georgian Grizzlies, looking to take this fourth set and this quarterfinal match against the Humber Hawks.
You're Humber, Nick. You're in the huddle. What are you telling your team right now?
Honestly, if I'm a Hawks player, if I'm a Hawks coach right now, I am telling my team that you need to play like you did in that first set. Let's take a breath, let's recharge, and let's get to the momentum, the consecutive success that we found in that first set. And the best way we found that was Blanchette and Gibbs getting nice and easy volleys up the middle from Kinoshita. And so if I'm the coach, I got to be looking at Kinoshita and saying, I know you're everywhere, I know we're putting it all on you, but we need you to come up even more here.
You said it, get the ball to Gibbs, get the ball to Blanchette. They've been doing it today.
I know you'd like that one, Connor. I'd be very stunned if Gibbs doesn't get the player of the game here so far for the Hawks, but we still have quite a lot of volleyball left here if these Hawks can manage to come back in this fourth set. But it is coming down to the wire here. The Georgian Grizzlies up 2-1.
This may be the biggest lead we've seen on the day.
Close, definitely pretty close. But as mentioned, this is a big one, as the winner of this one will be facing the winner of our next matchup coming at 8 p.m., which is the Mountaineers versus the Bruins. But we're getting back into action here with Kinoshita setting up Meitzen. Good dig there, and Gibbs going to come up and try and take advantage of the free ball. But nice defense on the other side as we settle into a bit of a rally here. Now a good dig as well again from Ricala. And there you have another quick one there from Gray to Haynes. Not going to work, but here comes Gibbs the other way. Gray's going to get up there, and a quick one, but a nice dig from Gibbs. Kinoshita going to look for Meitzen. And an amazing defensive play from Gray and Haynes up front. But we're still going to see Kinoshita try again here. And this time not going to work, though. One too many hits there on the Hawks side. But some great defensive digs on both sides there. A big point for the Georgian Grizzlies now, stretching this lead 19-14. And you can almost feel the Grizzlies seeing the light at the end of the tunnel here for this win. But Gibbs has something to say, I think. But Meitzen is like, don't worry, Gibbs, I got you on the other side. And you can see Gibbs running to the back line there. He is fired up. He wants to get this serve in quick. I think he understands the best way to take it to these Georgian Grizzlies is quick and fast. But a good dig there from BLB now. Going to come over, but a nice block from Kinoshita. But Gray's going to look for it again, and an even better block again from Blakely and Kinoshita on Edwards. A big point there, 19-16. We've been at the exact same score the last 3 sets for Georgian Grizzlies, 19-16. Last 2 times, though, the Hawks not able to come back. Let's see if they have a different story to tell here. Good defense there up front. Somehow Kinoshita was able to get that one over, looking for a violation on the other side. Not going to get it, but a big block again from the wall of Kinoshita and Blakely. And a big point here, 19-17. In the last couple of sets, this has been the exact point at 19-17 when the Humber Hawks have let it slip away a little bit.
For a smaller guy, Kinoshita, he gets up there, doesn't he?
And what's surprising at Kinoshita at the 5'11" height too, the finesse. Because usually your setters are much shorter. You can look at Quaiben, his height I believe at 5'8" or 5'9". So Kinoshita at 6, able to use a little bit of that defense and offense together there. And right there coming up, they're going to call a violation, and Kinoshita making us look like gurus there, Connor, with the beautiful defensive play on that one, straight up. And going to take a big point there, as now the Hawks down just one here in this fourth set. And that's going to lead to
that was a big rally. They needed that one.
They definitely needed those 3 straight points, because now we're going to see a timeout on the other side here for Saxby, for the Grizzlies, as he looks to try and get his team here to finish strong in this fourth set. And as mentioned, this is a big one, because if I'm a Hawks player, this is the time now to bring it back here, because we're going to have a whole new ball game, as we did in the last match when they went to a 5th set. It's basically one and done. That's what happens when it's tied 2-2.
These Hawks are clawing on. They're holding on. And underdog, Cinderella story. I love it, Nick.
Yeah, we had the Royal matchup last with the Royals versus the Lords, and now we have the Wildlife matchup. We got some Hawks and Grizzlies going at it. The environmentalist in me is kind of wondering, what do you think would win, though, Connor, a Hawk or a Grizzly?
I'm going to have to go ahead and say Grizzly on that, Nick.
Yeah, they're pretty big, right?
Yeah, maybe had a few Hawks.
Yeah, it might take a few, which is exactly what our Hawks need here today. And on the other side, if you are a Grizzlies fan, you need your Grizzlies to show up and say, I don't care what you're doing here, Hawks. This one is ours. We're almost here. We can taste the win. But Gibbs, though, let's see if he's got something to say. Oh, Bilby's got something to say there. But Kinoshita going to find them. Gibbs coming back. And there's going to call the violation on that. Surprising, actually.
They're looking upset. I don't blame them.
Basically, they're going to say that Gibbs was actually not in the right area there. And I think about 4 Hawks players instantly looked down at his feet and were like, I don't think so. But not going to matter here, as it's 2018 now for the Grizzlies. Meitzen just going to put that one over. Good dig there from Rakala. Even better dig out there from Burke. But now we get Gibbs on the other side to Kinoshita. Here he comes. And Blanchette with a big one. And are they going to call that? That looked like about 2 lifts there, and it's not going to matter. Out of bounds. And you can see Wilkins coming on the court there. And the Humber Hawks amped up here. And a big point here now, as we're going to get Michael Meitzen looking to tie it up here in this fourth set.
He's been great this set, too.
One of the more consistent players for sure, but a big one there from Bielby. Bielby finally showing up here in this fourth set.
Gibbsy getting upset, yelling at the ball there. Look at that.
And you see Meitzen trying to calm him down a little bit.
I don't think he's a man you want to make angry.
Definitely has the Wolverine look going, so I can attest to that. But here on the other side, a big point there. Now again, these Hawks not going away easy. Yeah, you mentioned it there, Connor, amped up to say the least, yelling at the ball, yelling at his teammates a bit, trying to get them pumped up.
Good-looking socks.
That definitely is a little anticlimactic for his demeanor, but sometimes it doesn't matter what you're wearing when you're playing that well. But on the other side, Meitzen, a little frustrated with himself there, thinking he should have got that one. And now we're going to see a little quick substitute. Actually, no, they want the moisture cleaned up with that dive there for Meitzen. He's been all over the court here. So I'm sure that one touch of body on the court has led to quite the moisture. Good job on the refs. We have to commend them for really taking the buck up here, making sure that this is a safe court here for the players.
They've been all over it today.
But a massive serve attempt there from Gray, and an unforced error at the best time if you're a Humber Hawks fan. Because now they're down just one again here with Kinoshita setting up for serve, and Kinoshita had quite the strong service game to start this set. Let's see if he can maintain that. Here comes Gray, going to look for Bielby, but they're going to be forced to put it over, and he does find the right area, but a great dig from Meitzen. Here comes Blanchette, and Blanchette just forcing that one down, frustrated at himself.
That was an awkward angle he took that at. That was coming behind him.
Big point loss there. 23-21 for Georgian now. The Grizzlies a couple of points away here from taking this third quarterfinal match and launching themselves into the winners match tomorrow against either the Mohawk Mountaineers or Sheridan Bruins.
It's been close today. This Hawks team is going to be a team to look out for later on.
They definitely have a couple of big players that they can easily build around. And of course, that would be Blanchette and Gibbs.
Surprise.
Exactly. Hopefully Kinoshita they can manage to corral for a little bit too, because those three are the trio to stop here from the Hawks side, and that has been what the Grizzlies are doing up front with some good defensive play, and they've done a great job of keeping it away from the middle, making those defensive digs very difficult for the Hawks. But now Bielby with a nice one. Here comes Kinoshita, and too far there. And Blanchette very frustrated at himself, and we're going to have set and match point coming up here for the Georgian Grizzlies. A big one here for Bielby in this fourth set. Up 24-21, and we're going to see a timeout here from the Hawks, a very smart timeout. Going to look to try and freeze out the Grizzlies player. And let's see if that will affect Bielby coming out of this timeout. But it is do or die here for the Humber Hawks.
This game has been spectacular.
Yeah, they're definitely, we've seen it all. We've seen a straight set to start. We've seen a 5-setter, and we could potentially be seeing a 4-setter here if these Georgian Grizzlies can come out of the timeout and finish the play strong.
I'd be surprised if they didn't, Nick.
Honestly, I think they're going to come out. They're going to have the set play they want, and it's going to be Gray.
It's going to be quick.
Gray to BLB. That's exactly what the call is. I'm predicting it right now, Connor.
BLB, eh? He has been good. He does get up there. He's got some power.
But we just want to mention as well, too, to our fans on M-Link, make sure you guys tune in tomorrow as well. You're going to catch a couple of good games there. As we saw earlier, the Fanshawe Falcons defeating George Brown. And you're also going to see the Durham Lords as they manage to take down the Redeemer Royals in that 5-setter. Should be an exciting match between Fanshawe and Durham. But here's the set and match point coming up. Here's Blanchette, going to try and get it to Gibbs. And Gibbs says, we're not done yet, guys. We're not done yet. As you can tell, he's
fired up.
I was going to try and actually put words to some of those gestures he was making, but I couldn't come up with anything. Excitedness, I guess, to say the least.
Ecstatic.
There you have it, ecstatic.
Energetic. Poetic.
Poetic. But 24-22. And a service ace here for Blanchette, a big one here. These Hawks looking to bring it back now. It's 24-23, a big point here. Still set and match point, though, for the Grizzlies. But if Blanchette can somehow manage to get this one in.
My heart's racing. This is going to be good.
Goes for the nice and easy one. Doesn't want to mess that one up. But Gray to, I got the first part right. But Gray to Riccola. And there you have it, folks. A big win here for your Georgian Grizzlies, 25-23 in this fourth set. They take this match 3-1, and that's after losing the first set too. 25-21 to the Hawks. They reel off 25-23, 25-20 in another nail-biting set, 25-23. These Humber Hawks definitely shouldn't be hanging their heads low. They came out and they played well.
Unbelievable game. Unbelievable. Really surprised with the Hawks showcase today.
Very exciting game back and forth, but these Grizzlies, I think, were able to do what they've done all year, and that's play the game that have got them to where they are. And
undefeated.
That's undefeated.
Undefeated,
you got
Nick.
it.
It's not easy to go undefeated.
But now we're going to get our players of the game from the both sides. I'm thinking we're going to have to give it to Gibbs here on the Humber Hawks side. And just like that, Alex Gibbs, number 9.
Unbelievable game.
A little bittersweet here, you can tell, for himself, but at the same time, should not be hanging that head low. A big game for himself here. And usually, I got to whip out my Batman-Robin analogy again. Usually the Robin to Blanchette's Batman, but today was the big player here.
He was the Superman today.
And on the other side, angry, happy Matt Kerr taking player of the game here.
No surprise here either.
And there you go. If you're
Great
that amped
game.
up and you're that excited for your team, he's clearly the big leader and taking player of the game here. But we're going to check out some highlights here from that last set. Again, as you mentioned, Connor, a very exciting set to end that one. 25-23. I thought we were going to go into extras a little bit there. But you'll see up front, Matt Kerr, again, player of the game, showcasing why. A big point there. And you're going to see Matt Kerr and Gray utilizing that
He's
quick,
big and he's powerful.
that quick volley really well. And there you have it, some more Kerr. Kerr. He was definitely all over the court today. But there, a big one there. Gray to Haynes, and on the other side, Meitzen with a nice serve. And again, Gray
the sleeve
and
goblins
Haynes,
got him, didn't they?
they were killer. But now we're going to throw it to Ryla, though. So what do you got for us, Ryla?
I'm here joined by Eric Gregg. Congratulations, that was a great game.
Thank you very much.
So how do you feel about that game?
I feel it was kind of a statement game to show that even though the Western Division is considered better, we are quite the competitor in this tournament.
And how are you feeling not knowing who you're playing going into your next game?
Not too worried about it. We're ready to handle whoever we've got. I think it'll be a good game, whoever it is, so I'm pretty excited to play.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank
Good
you.
luck.
Appreciate it.
Okay, well, thank you very much, everyone. We appreciate you tuning in to M-Link again on YouTube. Make sure you come back for the big one, though. It's going to be 8 p.m. We're going to have your Mohawk Mountaineers facing off against your Sheridan Bruins. We'll see you then. I'm Nick Sahami.
I'm Connor McVeigh.
See you guys soon.